to me, this is actually quite interesting. So you've got Paddy Doherty, who is a well-known member of the Irish traveling community and somebody who has known John Fury for many, many years. In fact, he refers to himself in this video as a good mate of John Fury. But he basically accuses Big John of trying to steal the limelight away from his son Tyson with all the stuff he's been doing in the boxing media, calling out certain fighters like Mike Tyson, etc., etc. And he's basically urging him to stop doing all that. And he also says that a lot of the criticism John Fury has received has been brought upon by himself. Now, the reason I say this is quite interesting to me is because this is the first time, to my knowledge, that a member of the traveling community has pulled John Fury up about his behavior. Somebody who actually knows John. Many of us have been saying for years that John Fury absolutely loves the limelight. He lives for attention. A couple of years back, they did some type of feature on him on BT Sport before it was called TNT. And just the way John Fury was posing for the cameras, posing in the thumbnail for that little special they did, to me it was very obvious that this guy was absolutely loving it. And I said in a recent video that John Fury loves the limelight far more than his son Tyson ever has. In fact, in recent years, Tyson has started to withdraw from the media quite a bit, whereas John Fury can't get enough of it. Now, Paddy Doherty, a few weeks ago, seemed to quite like the idea of Big Joe Egan and John Fury fighting each other. He said he'd love to see it. But of course, John Fury seems uninterested in that. He said if any of these guys want to fight him, they can fight him in his barn. All in, anything goes. And to me, that's just a way of John Fury trying to save face. If one of these guys, and I'm talking about a fighting man, turned up to John Fury's barn, a guy who's actually capable, I don't think John Fury would want any part of it, personally. I think it's all a bluff. People talk about what a tough guy John Fury was back in the days. Well, what's that based on? It's based on what John Fury is saying himself, mainly. Yes, he grew up with Bartley Gorman. You know, Bartley Gorman was kind of a mentor to him and whatever. And Bartley Gorman did speak highly of him. This is back when John Fury was a young man. But who did John Fury actually beat outside in a bare knuckle? Because there are lots of big names in the traveling community. There is today and there was back in John's day. How many of them did John fight or beat? He claimed to have had some contest in Ireland against a champion back in the days. Bare knuckle for, what was it, 100 grand? But can't name the guy. So he's just forgotten his name, forgotten who he is. I mean, how likely does that sound to you? 100 grand is far more money than John Fury ever made for any of his professional boxing contests. So surely he would have remembered that guy's name. And the person who John Fury half blinded, as I understand it, as several people have said now, is not much bigger than Carl Frampton. Think about that. John Fury's 6'3". At the time when that incident happened, he might have been, I don't know, at least 250, 260 pounds. Carl Frampton's 5'4". So let's say the guy John Fury went to jail over is what, 5'5", 5'6" at best? And it's like John Fury's trying to live off the reputation he gained from that incident, trying to infer that anyone who fights him is going to be in for the same fate. But it's one thing doing that to a guy who is, what, 100 pounds lighter than you, 9-10 inches shorter than you, much smaller than you and physically weaker than you. Doing that to a guy your own size is much more difficult, especially when, what, John Fury must be in his 60s now, or close to. So John Fury has now officially been pulled up by a member of his own community for his attention-seeking behavior, limelight-grabbing behavior. Now, some people could argue that perhaps Paddy Doherty is guilty of that himself, and that maybe he's actually envious of John Fury. Maybe he's been carrying resentment in his heart about John Fury for several years. Now, I'm not saying this is the case, but I know there are going to be some people claiming that. At the end of the day, if you are a good friend of somebody, why would you pull them up in public, in a video on YouTube? Why wouldn't you just call them up on the phone and speak to them privately? Why would you try to tarnish their image with the stuff that you're saying? Now, I know it's almost a tradition now for travelers to speak to each other through these videos. Obviously, they talk in real life, face to face, behind the scenes, on the phone, but the video stuff is very common and very popular in the traveling community. You can see them videos all over YouTube, but normally these videos are predominantly about calling people out to fight, which is not what Paddy Doherty is doing here, although you never know what could transpire from this particular situation. Would John Fury be looking to fight Paddy Doherty? Paddy Doherty, how old is he now? 65 or so? a few years older than John Fury. I think he's officially retired from any type of fighting, but I've also heard him say that in the traveling community, people won't let you retire. If you were a well-known fighting man back in the days, there's always going to be people who want to challenge you. Even when you're an old man, try and drag you out for a fight. So let me know what you guys think about this in the comments below. I know some of you won't care, and that's cool, but some of you like me will find it somewhat interesting. Again, that John Fury has been pulled up publicly by a member of his own community, to my knowledge, for the first time. There might have been people that have done it behind the scenes privately, I don't know. But publicly, this is the first time that I'm aware of. So let me know what you guys think in the comments.